Okie dokie smoky. Let's see what we have today. It's a very emotional feeling, to be honest. I pulled out the animal oracles. Before I could even shuffle, I plopped them out of the box, and this was the card on the bottom. Prosperity. The peacock. Definitely a symbol of some kind to you. Oh my God. The Ace of Swords. You are definitely honing in on just attracting more abundance. So much more abundance. 7 of Cups. Your opportunities, the tools that you yourself provide for this to be able to, I'm hearing, make your dreams come true. It makes me feel like choked up, like you can't even wrap your head around this. You've never been in this situation before in life where things are just easy. But it's time. It's time. You've been through a lot of ups and downs. So much so that you lost yourself. You lost yourself. And you've been on this journey of trying to find yourself again. And the one thing you never lost is the strength to keep going. You never lost that. And you've also honed in on balancing these feelings now. Some things you have put off thinking, I'm too old for this. I'm past that time in my life now. But that's not the case here. Whatever you're being drawn to do, you have to do it. Yeah, it's time to see it now. It's time to open your eyes to, it doesn't matter how old you get. It doesn't. Because no matter how old you get, that spark in your heart does not die. It definitely got put on the sidelines for quite some time because you are very big, not only people pleaser, but you just put people above yourself. And you can still do that, but by making sure that your cup is full, making sure that you're doing and saying the things that bring you joy. Page of Swords. This is definitely the fighting, the mental fight that you constantly go through with yourself. It's not going to be as detrimental as it's been, pretty much. You're gonna glide. You're going to dance through it this time. You're not going to let it stop you. You're not going to let it get you down. It's not going to happen. Not this time. Age is just a number, and you know this. But you get caught up in just thinking it's just not the right time. And that's what I keep hearing. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. You just keep saying that to yourself to kind of justify it. But it is the time. The time is now. We're not promised tomorrow. So every little bit of happiness, anything that brings you any bit of happiness, has every right to be right front and center in your life and for you. The Justice card. The balance with you finding yourself is coming in. It's starting to balance now. Your scales used to be tipped pretty high and it weighed heavy, but it's starting to level itself out now. It really is. I think that's why it's coming off so emotional, because you've been wanting to know who you are. Because like I said, you lost yourself. Within life, you lost yourself and what brings joy to you. You were kind of more focused on everybody else's joy. Like, oh, if they're happy, I'm happy. Which, that's great. But you have to be happy with what brings you happiness too. Not just other people's happiness. Yes, that is a great trait to have, that by seeing others and loved ones happy, that makes you happy. There's nothing wrong with that. But by focusing only on that, there is no focus on what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. And somewhere along the lines of constantly putting that front and center, you lost yourself. You weren't sure what made you happy anymore, but you're starting to find that again. The King of Pentacles. Your joy, your happiness. So when you're happy, you are literally like a walking magnet. Look, materialism. You are a walking magnet. When you are happy and your heart is filled with joy, seriously, it just looks like a magnet. It looks just like as you're walking, just things are just coming right to you. Ace of Wands. You're coming into this. You are. You're coming into this. You're starting to learn who you are. You're starting to learn yourself, your flaws, your positives, all of it. The Chariot. Oh my goodness. And I see you crying alone, not in front of anybody. This is before you started to realize this. And the reason I'm being shown that is because when you were crying and talking out loud about being lost in this world, feeling alone in this world, they heard you. They heard you, and they directed you towards a path that you decided to take. The choice is always ours, but you took it. You took the chance. And because you took that opportunity, and that's what it was an opportunity, it opened your eyes to you wanting to be that happy, bubbly self again, like you always have been. Like I said, the Chariot. You had many moments like this, but this one time in particular, You were just saying, I just want to be happy again. I just want good things to come my way again. I want to be happy with myself. I want to find the joy in my life again. They heard this, and you are being divinely guided to find this. This is why you're finding it. Look, the Queen of Pentacles. You are getting in tune with yourself again. And by you doing this, all you're doing is making your magnetization even stronger. I mean, really, you could seriously just think to yourself the same thing over and over again. And at some point, maybe not right away, because that's not how things work, but it's happening. Things are coming true that you've been asking for. Look, Two of Pentacles. It's not just prosperity in a sense of financial. Get my words right. This is a prosperity of your soul. That's what this is. You are coming into yourself finally. Finally. That's what I keep hearing. Finally. The Knight of Cups. You're finally realizing that your happiness matters too. And that with you having your cups full and focusing on what makes you happy, it's like a drug. It actually just makes other things around you and other people around you happy. And that fulfills you all over again. Because again, you like seeing other people happy. But look, the full circle, the Ace of Pentacles. This has been a long time coming for whoever this is calling out to, because you used to be that person. You used to be that happy-go-lucky, spirited person, and with things that happened over time and caring for people above yourself consistently, it detached you from that. And you finally came to the realization that when you were asking, when you were crying and calling out for help because you didn't exactly know the answer, your answer was your own happiness. Your own happiness is super important. It's not something that you can just put to the side and let everybody else's happiness fulfill that for you. That's not going to fully fulfill that for you. But for years, you kept telling yourself that. And it was fulfilling it in the moment because you kept telling yourself that. But now that you've come to the realization of, oh, wait, everybody else around me is happy, but I'm not happy. I'm not bringing joy to myself. Like, wait, this isn't right. And that's where the scales started to tip over. And that's exactly what was happening. See? Specifically, for this reading, those cups are everybody else's cups. But look at yours. And you're just overwhelmed with it at this point. This came out twice. The Lovers. I got to cover the lumps and bumps because they actually restricted one of my videos over this, which I think is ridiculous with the things that I see on here. I digress, though. I can't show a picture, but people can show other things. Okay, anyway, the Lovers. This is the love that you are giving yourself. And this is a love that you've been missing from others around you. And that's why this is so important. And this is why it's going to be so good for you, because yes, it's always a great thing to know that you can get that kind of love from other people, and you deserve that kind of love from other people. But if you can't give yourself that kind of love, how do you expect anybody else to really give you that kind of love? You can't. You just can't. So now that you've realized to love yourself and notice that the happiness, the joys, the laughter, the jokes, the sense of humor, all of that plays a part in loving yourself, you're becoming one with yourself again. Look, King of Cups. You're going to own that sugar. This is why I don't put music to my videos anymore. I liked the background noise for ambiance during the reading, but one of my videos got cut off. Well, the sound got cut out. I'm like, well, that defeats the whole purpose of the reading because people can't hear what I'm saying. So I have to be careful. Let's see, what else? What else? Ooh. I was feeling that, but I wanted to see. You're coming out of your shell. Part of your joy is just being yourself. Just being your goofy self. You are not someone who likes to be miserable. You are not someone who likes to be around miserable energy. You don't like being around people who are negative because it's too much for you. It's too much for you to comprehend, because you're just, for you to wake up angry at the world, that's not normal for you. That's not a common thing. And that started to happen. And that's what closed you off even more, because now you are even more not yourself by doing this, because that's not who you are. You're someone who strives to be better, be happy, but also spread that to other people. And you can't do that if you yourself cannot get to that point. But you're getting there. You're coming out of this stagnation in this hermit mode. And you're transitioning. And I think this is the card that actually got my video screwed up, but because of the lumps and bumps. The transition. You are changing. This is a very prime time for you to change, and it doesn't matter how old you are and how far you've gotten or how much you've been through. Look, 3 of Cups. It doesn't matter. And if you look at the women on this, that's depicted in this picture, they do look different phases of life. At least that's what it's being shown to me for this reading. Saying, it doesn't matter where you're at now in your life. You could be 30, 40, 50, 60. It doesn't matter. The fact that you finally came across this happiness for yourself, this I'm going to be myself no matter what anymore. I'm going to be that funny person that I am. Because you are. You're a very humorous person, but you close that. You hide that away from people. But you're not going to do that anymore. You'll be reserved when you need to, no doubt. But you're the one that likes to laugh. And you like to have others laugh with you. 9 of Cups. Ooh. We're being weird again. There we go. Your well. Your well is no longer dry. You are filling your own well with your own joy, your own happiness. I'm hearing the years got the best of me. It feels that way. It does. It does feel that way. during a certain point in your life, you forgot what the joy was. You forgot to be just that bubbly person. You let yourself go a little bit. And then with letting those things go, now you have resentment upon yourself. You do. You have resentment upon yourself for it. But you found the light, my dear. The moon. You are comfortable in the dark, but the light is what helps you do your transformation of change. Six of Cups. A lot of cup energy in this. A lot. That's why Prosperity, the peacock, was the first one to come out for the initial starting point of this reading. You already have cups in line that are filled even prior to you coming into this realization. But now that you're in that realization, you're noticing it. You're showing a lot more gratitude towards yourself. You're showing a lot more gratitude towards the things that you own, because it's always been about trying to keep everything afloat instead of, I'm thankful. You are thankful for what you have, but you were more focused on afraid of losing. And that's not going to be a thing anymore. You're not going to have to worry about losing things. Even though that's happened to you so many times in your past, that's not going to happen. The Weaver. It's not going to happen. Because your foundation is being secured. And you know what's helping secure that foundation? Your happiness. Isn't that crazy to hear that? Like, that's it? That's it? Sometimes, yeah, that is it. Because if you can just mentally be in a better state of mind, physically, positive, happier things tend to happen. The Page of Wands. You're taking ownership in the paths that you've been on. This is a big deal right here. This is a huge deal right here. You know why? Because you're doing a lot of self-reflecting on who you are and the things that you've done in your past. And as stubborn as you may be and set in your ways, you're coming out of that. You're not really set in your ways anymore, and you're starting to realize that maybe in the past certain things had happened and I didn't handle it as well as I should have. So I'm taking ownership for that. That is a huge blessing that you can even do that with yourself. Really think about that. Can you forgive yourself? And I think that's where the emotional part is coming in, because as I said that, I'm getting choked up. Can you forgive yourself? That is a huge, huge thing if you can get yourself to that point. For the things that you are now looking at that has happened or that has been done or that has been said, are there things that you can forgive yourself for? Because if you can forgive yourself, the amount of growth spiritually that comes from that is enormous, which helps your prosperity build even more. Listen, we all make mistakes. We are human. That is what we do. how are we supposed to learn any lessons if we're never put through anything to be taught? Queen of Swords. You have always been a fighter. Always. You've always been a fighter. And then the Tower card, which I love the fact that this is coming out. I really do. Because we were just talking about, can you forgive yourself? You have no idea what kind of power and magic that has, that you can forgive yourself. It's not always about forgiving others, especially when you're on this journey, 9 of Pentacles, of finding yourself. That is a huge deal that you can be able to do that. And not sit here and think, oh, well, if I did this, and if I did that, and if I did this. Listen, the past is the past. Are you living in the now by focusing on what ifs of the past or what ifs of the future? You don't have to. This is proving that. You don't have to. There's no reason to. Forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself. I don't like saying the word need. It would be to your benefit to forgive yourself. This is you. That's the energy that you used to be in. This is no longer needed. It's no longer needed. And this is why. You don't have to be in that energy anymore. I know that you got comfortably numb in it. That's for sure. I hear the song Comfortably Numb. And what has recently stumbled upon your path that you chose made you uncomfortable. And that was your kick in the ass, pretty much. Like, we're done. Doop. We're done dealing with this. We're done. You're not a not happy person. We need you back. And this is another reason why. The Magician. You are very highly connected, and you have no idea how connected you are. And that's another reason why this opportunity was set forth on your path for you. Like, listen, we need your energy. We want your energy. You want your energy. So let's bring that back. No, it's okay. Really. You are forgiving yourself for things. You are standing with yourself and judgment, and you're taking the hits with what you got to take. You are. But that makes you a higher being. That makes you a better person, that you can actually own up to your mistakes, your quarrels, whatever it may be. Look, Knight of Pentacles. It's only feeding your prosperity even more. That's all this is doing, which is great. You deserve it. It doesn't matter how old you are. Don't look at the pictures of when you were 20 years old, 15 years old, and go, oh my God, I wish I looked like that again. You don't have to. You are forming into the beautiful person that you are with everything that you've been through, and your light is shining brighter than it ever has because you're learning yourself again. 10 of Pentacles. I love you. Peace.